Hey, Mark Clark here from Village Church in Vancouver. We've been doing this whistle-stop tour through the first half of the Gospel of Matthew. And in Matthew chapter 5, the start of the Sermon on the Mount, he says, "You're the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. In the same way, let your light shine before others so they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Salt of the earth. Salt was meant to preserve. There was no fridges, so meat would have salt on it to preserve it. Light of the world, of course, we're supposed to be light. And these images of salt and light are very important for you and me because it's really our call not to, the church has always wrestled with, as the culture begins to kind of go down bad paths in whatever way, morally, what's the church supposed to do? Is it supposed to completely remove itself from the world or just be part of the world and not worry about it? And Jesus gives this great image of salt and light. He says, you're actually supposed to be in it. Like salt in meat. You're supposed to preserve. You're the one good thing in the world that can preserve it. So don't remove yourself from it. You're the light in the mid. Think about what light does to darkness. As John Stott pointed out, who's an author and a scholar and a pastor from years ago, he said, you know, you walk into a room and it's pitch black. You don't blame the darkness. You don't look at meat when it doesn't have preservatives and blame the meat, like the church does with the world. I can't believe how immoral the world is. Bad meat. You've done what meat does. You know, you don't blame the darkness for being dark. You ask the question, where is the light? Has the light been turned on in the room to take the darkness and actually reverse it and make it light? That's the question for the church. That's the question for you and me as followers of Jesus. I remember my friend told me a story. He was involved in a Christian soccer league. And this Christian soccer league had a real desire to reach people who didn't know Jesus. So everyone on the soccer league would have to be Christians. But then one player was invited, and they were called the witness player, meaning the one guy you were trying to reach for Jesus. Now, no one talked about that. They didn't want him to know that, but that's what it was. And so one day he was playing soccer, and he kicked the ball, and he completely missed the net, and all the crowd is out there, and he just let this massive swear word out. And he just like, ah, and it echoed through the whole place, and everyone went dead quiet and looked, and he looked around, and he just looked up at the crowd, and he said, "It's okay, I'm the witness player." All right? There was a sense of Christians who've been removed from the world a little bit, and they're struggling to figure out, how do I actually reach this guy in our life? And then he knows, hey, I'm the witness, I'm the project here. But the reality is way different than that. Christians are supposed to be out there, in amongst the world, being salt, being light to people, not inviting people into their reality and hoping they'll change. We, like Jesus, need to enter the lives of people. With everything we are, we need to represent the morals of Jesus in the world because it's through our good works, he says, that the world is actually going to see the glory of God. And that's what James talks about. You can't just have faith, a whole bunch of beliefs politically or theologically about a bunch of things. That actually has to translate into a life of works that glorify God, that people look around and go, there's something different about that person. I want to know what's driving their life. Let your life be a witness to the people around you.